Him. There we go.
Okay, we're back in session. And cause number 327-502, the case of Stylus, Texas versus Jamal Karras. And now, Mr. Karras, before we went into recess, the court explained to you that the state was offering 24 days of Jefferson County Jail and that you will not have to serve any more time in the Jefferson County Jail because you will be given credit for time served. And the court costs in this case, you will not have to pay because it's been taxed and retired because you've served enough time to pay the court costs off. Now, Mr. Karras, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
And do you think that the state's offer is fair in your case?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Karras,
Yes,
I'll
sir.
follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Now, Mr. Karras, you have your second case in this that we will proceed with is cause number 330888. And Mr. Karras, the information in this case alleges that on or about, on or about October 1st, 2021, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed to Class A misdemeanor offense of assault. Mr.
Yes, sir.
Karras, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, Mr. Karras, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Plead guilty.
Now, you're pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Karras, I have before me a document that is titled the Misdemeanor Plea Admonishment. It's also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. On this document, Mr. Karras, there are a set of initials next to a box that's checked guilty. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir.
And on the next page of the same document, there is a signature above the line that's titled Defendant. Did you sign this document?
Yes, sir. Yes.
And on the next document, which is titled the Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, there is a signature at the bottom of this document. Did you sign this document?
Yes, sir. Yes.
And at the top of this document, there are two boxes that are checked. The first box states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
The second box states that you are waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Karras, did you sign a document out there on paper that is titled Discovery Certification?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And Mr. Karras, before you signed and initialed these documents, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Karras, or State, I have before me State's Exhibit Number 1. State, you like to offer State's 1?
Yes, Your Honor.
No objections.
No objection. State's Exhibit Number 1 will be admitted. Mr. McIntosh, you advised and counseled Mr. Karras. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
And Mr. Karras, your attorney, Mr. McIntosh, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now, Mr. Karras, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers was freely and voluntarily given. I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
What is that agreement?
The agreement is for 90 days probated over 1 year, no fine, 80 hours of community service, anger management, and no contact with Kevin Pearson And the state is dismissing cause number 330886.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Karras. The state is
Yes, sir.
Okay, the state is offering that you serve 90 days in jail, but you will not have to serve any time in jail because the court will place you on probation for 12 months, which is 1 year. Now, during this probationary period, you will not be required to pay a fine. However, you will be required to pay court costs of $342, a probation fee of $60 each month, a urinalysis fee of $15 each month, and you'll be required to reimburse Jefferson County, the court-appointed attorney's fees of $250. The total amount of money that you would have to pay per month on your probation is $130. Mr. Karras, will you be able to pay the $130 per month?
Oh, no, sir.
Okay, now, Mr. Karras, let me do this. I need to get some information from you. Well, actually, I have before me an affidavit of indigence that was signed by you and filled out by you on October the 5th. And in this affidavit, it states that you have no income and you have no expenses. Is this still correct?
Yes, sir.
And okay, so the judge or the magistrate in this case found that you was indigent and your attorney was appointed to represent you. And so this court is going to also make the same finding that you are indigent pursuant to Article 42.15. And so let me do this. Let's see. Okay, now, Mr. Karras,
Yes, sir.
the court costs in this case of $342 is going to be converted to community service. Hold on a minute. Okay, it's going to be converted to 27 hours of community service. And so what that basically means is that you will not have to pay the $342 because it'll be converted to community service. It'll just be added on to the community service that you're required to do. Now, and also the probation fee is going to be reduced to the minimum of $25 per month. And it won't be $60 a month. It'll be $25 per month. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So let me repeat. The state is offering that you serve 90 days in jail, but you'll be placed on probation for 1 year, which is 12 months. You will not be required to pay a fine. However, the court cost in this case is $342, which will be converted to 27 hours of community service. And the probation is $60 each month will be converted to reduced to $25 per month. You'll be required to pay a urinalysis fee, and you'll also be required to reimburse the Jefferson County court-appointed attorney's fees of $250. Do we have and so, Mr. Terrence, what's going to happen is the monthly fee from $130 is going to be reduced, and it's going to be drastically reduced. And Mr. Karras, you will also be required to perform 80 hours of community service plus the 27 hours of community service. So that'd be 107 hours of community service. You also, you cannot have any contact with a Kevin Pearson. You have to attend anger management, attend and complete an anger management class. And you will also have to be required to adhere to the other standard terms and condition of your probation, and cause number 330886 will be dismissed. Mr. Karras, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just? Mr. Karras?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state, Mr. Karras. This will conclude your case. You can follow the bailiff and you have a blessed day.
Yes, sir. Excuse me, sir. That mean I go home today?
Yes, come on, get done.
If
Yeah,
there's, if there's not anything else holding you in, you should be getting out today.